Have you ever had a moment that made you question everything about yourself? I never thought I would, but one night changed that. I've carried this with me ever since, and I need to say it out loud even if it makes me uncomfortable. It all started so innocently. Just me, my best friend Anna, and my boyfriend's dog, Max. A quiet night in, filled with laughter and wine. But by the time the night ended, I wasn't the same person I was before. I don't even know where to begin, but maybe telling this will help me make sense of it. It's been sitting heavy on my chest, and I've kept it a secret from everyone. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's something I'll never forget. Anna and I have been best friends since we were kids. We've been through everything together: birthdays, heartbreaks, family drama, you name it. She's not just my best friend, she's practically my sister. We share everything, even the things we probably shouldn't. That's just how close we are. If there's anyone in the world I trust completely, it's Anna. And then there's Max, my boyfriend's golden retriever. Max isn't just a dog, he's part of the family. He's the kind of dog that can instantly put a smile on your face, no matter how bad your day has been. Loyal, playful, and full of energy, Max has always been my little shadow, especially when my boyfriend's not around. He's just always there. That weekend, my boyfriend was out of town on a work trip, so Anna decided to come over to keep me company. It was supposed to be a typical girls' night, just the two of us catching up like we always do. We opened a bottle of wine, put on our favorite playlist, and settled in on the couch, talking about everything and nothing at the same time. The kind of night where you don't have to think too much, just relax and enjoy the moment. And, of course, Max was there too. He's always around when I'm home, but that night, he was different. He wouldn't leave Anna's side. Wherever she went, Max followed. Wagging his tail like crazy, his eyes glued to her every move. It was like he was completely mesmerized by her. We joked about it, laughing as Anna playfully said, "Well, I guess I've stolen your boyfriend's dog." It felt harmless at the time, just another thing to laugh about during the night. But as the night went on, Max's behavior became unusual. He wasn't just following Anna, it was like he was fixated on her. She noticed it too, laughing it off at first. "I guess he's just in love with me," she said, and I rolled my eyes, not thinking much of it. It's Max, after all, he's always been a little too friendly. But now, looking back, I realized that was the first sign that this night wasn't going to end the way I expected. The night was supposed to be simple. Just Anna, me, and Max, my boyfriend's dog. But there was something about that night, something in the air, that changed everything. It started off like any other girls' night. We were having a great time, chatting about everything from work to relationships, sipping on wine, and laughing. Max was by our side, like always, happy to be the center of attention. Anna was sitting cross-legged on the floor, and Max, of course, was glued to her side. He kept nudging her with his nose, begging for attention. She was scratching behind his ears, and he was practically melting under her touch, his tail wagging like crazy. It was cute, I'll admit. She'd always been good with him. Max had the special way of drawing people in, making them feel loved. And I wasn't surprised when Anna let him lick her face, just like she always did. But something about the way he licked her lips, the way she laughed as he did, caught my attention in a way it never had before. I guess I wasn't paying much attention to how it looked or felt, until the moment she kissed him. It wasn't a simple kiss. No, she leaned in, her lips met his, and there was a moment, a long moment, where I couldn't process what was happening. Max didn't pull away and neither did she. I froze. I don't even know what I was thinking. I just watched, my heart suddenly hammering in my chest, my stomach twisting into a knot. Was I supposed to say something? Laugh it off like she did? Was it a joke? Was it okay? When she pulled back, she looked at me with this grin, like she hadn't just crossed some invisible line. What? He's just so sweet, she said, like it was no big deal. You should try it. I could feel my heart beating faster in my chest. She was so casual about it, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something wasn't right. Why did she kiss him like that? And why did she want me to do it too? I laughed nervously, trying to play it off like it didn't bother me. I even said something like, "You're crazy, Anna." But the air in the room felt heavier, and the tension was thick, like something was about to happen that none of us could control. Max was still there, staring up at us, his eyes almost pleading for more attention. And Anna, she wasn't stopping. She was petting him again, but this time, it was different. She was petting him in a way that felt wrong. It was too intimate, too personal. I could feel it in the pit of my stomach, like a warning bell going off in my head. I wanted to say something. I wanted to stop her, to tell her that this was crossing a line. But instead, I stayed silent. I watched as Anna continued, like it was just another joke, just another game. Then, she turned to me and said, "Come on, it's harmless. Just for fun." And for some reason, I couldn't bring myself to say no. Maybe it was the wine making everything feel lighter, or maybe I didn't want to seem uptight or judgmental. But in that moment, I gave in. I don't know why I did it. It wasn't like I had planned it. But without thinking it through, I leaned in. Max's fur was soft under my fingers as I reached out to pet him, and before I knew it, I was kissing him too. The second my lips touched his, I realized I'd just done something that felt completely wrong. It was like everything around me froze for a second. What the hell had I just done? But I couldn't pull away. It was like I was stuck in that moment, paralyzed by my own actions. And Anna, she didn't stop me. She just watched, her face unreadable, her eyes locked on mine. We were all three of us tangled in this strange, twisted moment. I felt the weight of the decision I'd just made, but it was too late to undo it. It wasn't funny anymore. It wasn't a joke. It was real, and it was wrong, and yet, neither of us stopped. Neither of us could. I felt sick, but the weirdest part? It didn't stop. It went further than I ever imagined. And there I was, caught in something I didn't even know how to describe. What happened next? It only got worse from there. When it was over, Anna acted like nothing had happened. She casually poured herself another glass of wine and went on talking like the night was just another one of our usual hangouts. She started listing her weekend plans, where she was going, what she was going to do with other friends. She even laughed about some funny story from work, but I couldn't focus on any of it. I just stared at Max, still lying peacefully on the rug, as if nothing out of the ordinary had just happened. The room felt suffocating, like I was trapped in some alternate reality. How could she be so calm? How could she pretend like everything was fine? But for me, nothing felt fine. I was sitting there, completely stunned, trying to process what had just gone down. It was like my brain couldn't make sense of the situation. It didn't seem real. I kept replaying the moment over and over in my head. I felt like I was losing control of my thoughts. Had I really just participated in something like that? How did I get caught up in it? What did it even mean for me? For us? My mind kept spiraling. I felt a wave of nausea hit me, sick to my stomach with guilt, confusion, and self-doubt. I kept wondering, how could I let it go that far? How could I have stayed quiet and gone along with it when I knew it wasn't right? Why didn't I stop it? Why did I let it happen? It was like I was frozen in the moment, unable to make a decision, unable to speak up. I couldn't believe I had been so weak. I thought I knew myself better than this. But now, I didn't recognize who I was. The worst part was knowing that I couldn't tell anyone. I couldn't share this with anyone, especially not my boyfriend. How could I possibly face him after what had just happened? How could I look him in the eyes, knowing I had betrayed him in the worst possible way? My stomach churned at the thought. I kept picturing his face, his trusting eyes, the way he looked at me when he thought I was the woman he could rely on. How could I face him now? I didn't know how to look at him, knowing the truth of what I'd done. How could I ever look at myself the same way again? I kept trying to convince myself that it was just a mistake. It was just one night, just one stupid thing that shouldn't have happened. But the guilt kept eating away at me, gnawing at my insides, making it impossible to ignore. I didn't know what was worse, the fact that I couldn't stop myself or the fact that I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was as if it was haunting me, following me everywhere I went. And what made it worse was that Anna seemed completely fine. She was carrying on like nothing had happened. There was no regret, no acknowledgement that what we'd done was wrong. She wasn't even worried about what it meant. She was just herself. But for me, nothing was the same anymore. Every time I saw her, I couldn't forget what we'd shared. I couldn't look at her without remembering the lines we'd crossed together. It was as if a wall had been built between us, one I couldn't tear down, no matter how hard I tried. Every time we talked or spent time together, I couldn't shake the weight of what had happened. I couldn't pretend that things were the same. It wasn't just about what happened with Max. It was about who I had become in that moment. Who had I turned into? And could I ever find a way back to the person I used to be? I felt like I was stuck, caught in this tangled web of guilt and confusion. I wanted to go back to before, to forget everything and pretend it never happened. But the more I tried to push it away, the more it seemed to follow me. It was like a shadow that I couldn't escape. And worst of all, it didn't just affect my relationship with Anna, it made me question everything about myself. Who was I now? What kind of person did that make me? In some ways, Anna and I went back to being the same as we were before. We never spoke about what happened that night. We didn't even acknowledge it. I guess it was easier that way. We'd been friends for so long, and maybe we both just wanted to pretend that nothing had changed. But even though things on the surface seemed the same, something was different. I couldn't look at her without feeling that weight, that secret between us. Every time she smiled at me or joked about something, all I could think about was what happened. It was like there was this unspoken understanding between us, this invisible barrier that I couldn't cross. I don't know how she does it, how she acts like everything is normal. For her, maybe it is. Maybe it's just something she can brush off and forget about. But for me, it's been impossible to move past it. The guilt, the confusion, it's always there. I can't stop thinking about that night, and I can't stop feeling like I've betrayed myself, my boyfriend, and even her in a way. I've kept the secret to myself, never told a soul about what happened. Not even to my boyfriend. And every time I look at him, I wonder if he can see the guilt in my eyes, or if I'm hiding it so well that no one will ever know the truth. What scares me the most is that the silence. Between Anna and me, it's like we've both agreed to never speak of it again. It's a pact, an unspoken rule that we've both followed. But it's not just about keeping it from others, it's the way it's consuming me, making me feel like I'm living two separate lives. One where I'm this normal girlfriend, this person who's faithful and kind, and the other where I'm hiding something so dark that it's impossible to ignore. I can't run from it. I can't escape it. It's a part of me now. Every time Anna calls, or we hang out, I'm reminded of that night. Of the secret that we share. It's always there, lurking in the background, even if we pretend it's not. I think about how different things could have been if I'd never let it happen. If I'd just stopped it before it went too far. But now, it's a part of my past, a part of me that I can't take back. And the hardest part? I don't know how to move on from it. How do you live with something like that, knowing it'll never truly go away? I don't know what that night says about me. Or what it says about Anna and me. I don't even know what it means for my relationship or how to move forward from it. All I know is that it changed the way I see myself, and that's something I'll have to carry with me. I can't just forget it, no matter how much I try. So, have you ever done something that made you question everything about who you are? Something that you can't take back, no matter how hard you try? I'm still trying to make sense of it. What about you? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment and let me know how you dealt with your own struggles. Maybe we can figure this out together.